the accident in a lot of ways was the best thing that ever happened to me, because it makes you realize what's really important in life. It makes you realize who's really important in life. It makes you not take certain things for granted anymore. I remember the first day I was able to put my socks on by myself after the accident. I cried. I stood in my closet and I cried. And I promised myself I would never take being able to put on my socks by myself for granted ever again. The other thing that going through something like that does is it makes you realize what really is worth stressing about and what isn't. Every day, everyone in this room stresses over something that I guarantee you doesn't matter. And it's hard to identify those things. And I hope part of what you maybe get out of today is realizing and maybe taking a second to look at your day and what you stress over, and maybe there's something you can drop. I don't want you to have to go through something like I did to understand this. And it made me really realize that a lot of things that I worried about and spent time, days, weeks, months stressing over didn't actually matter. It also made me realize that you have no idea when it's your time, right? So don't put anything off that you want to do. If you have the opportunity to do it, do it. Also to push yourself, scare yourself. Do something that makes you uncomfortable, because it doesn't matter if it goes wrong. You know, it's not important to worry about those types of little things. And that mindset was really important in 2016 when I got a phone call. And they were like, James, ABC here. You want to do Dancing with the Stars? No, I don't. And pre-accident James would have probably hung up the phone right there. But post-accident James was like, all right, look, what's your fear about going on Dancing with the Stars? Okay, well, there's lots of them, but like, what's the main one? The main one is looking like an idiot on national television in front of you and 12 million of your closest friends, live every week for 3 months. Okay, so that's a couple all packed into one, but you get what I'm saying. But then I realized, who cares? If you trip during a dance on a TV show, how does that affect your life? How does that affect anybody else's life? It doesn't. And maybe it'd be a cool opportunity. You might learn something about yourself. So I agreed to do it. And when they sell you on Dancing with the Stars, let me tell you, they lie through their teeth, all right? They really do. They're like, oh yeah, no, it's not too bad. It's 4 hours a day, 6 days a week, no problem. I'm like, okay, it's like my training schedule now, it's not too bad. Nay. The 4 hours a day is the absolute bare minimum you can contractually do of rehearsal a day. If you do only 4 hours a day, unless you're already a professional dancer, you will go home week one. You need closer to 8 to 10 hours a day if you actually want to go anywhere on this show. Oh, and that 6 days a week, the seventh day, that's show day. They've neglected to tell you that it's actually your busiest day of the week. So I stressed. Even though I tried to not let myself do it, the couple weeks leading up to it, I stressed before that first show. And that first show was the worst. You're in this room, there's a live audience of, 700 people, something like that, cameras in your face, and you know they're beaming to 10 to 12 million homes. You're dressed like a goof. You're probably wearing makeup and fake tan and rhinestones and all sorts of things. And the music starts, and I'll tell you, I black out. I don't know what happened next. But then 90 seconds later, I come to, people are cheering, my partner's smiling, I'm still standing on 2 feet. I figure, hey, we got through it. I never want to do it again. But then something happened. At the end of the show, there's a scoreboard. And it's got everybody's scores from the night. And that switch in my head flipped again. I'm like, this isn't a dancing show. This is a competition. And in that minute, I took everything that made me uncomfortable about dancing on television or dancing in general. Look, I'm a 5'9" white guy from Canada. This was my dancing experience before the show, okay? Maybe a Macarena on a good day. But I put it all aside because all of a sudden I'm like, no, this is a competition. I want to win this. Racing isn't a win or lose proposition, right? If you play soccer or you play football, there's one team they win, there's one team they lose. Racing, we race against 23, 24 different cars every week. Sometimes you finish third. Sometimes you finish fifth. Sometimes you finish 10th. What makes a champion in our sport are the drivers that recognize those days where fifth place is probably as good as they're going to do. And that's still building points towards a championship. But risking everything for a fourth place might not be the smartest move, might not be worth it. The real champions in our sport are the drivers that they recognize those situations, embrace those situations, and for lack of a better word, settle for your fifth place days. You got to take those fifth place days. And the same is true in life. Professionally, personally, there's a solution to every problem. It's not always going to be a winning solution. And if you can accept that and accept when your fifth place days are still moving you in the right direction, it really sets you up for success down the road, the champion in the long term.